It's Giants baseball on NBC Sports Bay Area from Phoenix, Arizona on the 4th of July, a holiday game and the only game across the big leagues being played on the night of July 4th. The Giants 52-30 against the last place Diamondbacks, final game of the 4-game series. And the Diamondbacks are out in the field, so it's time for the starting lineups brought to you by GMC. And Mike, the right-handers are in there. Austin Slater is in that leadoff spot. Thairo Estrada's had a great series, giving the Giants a big boost. Buster Posey took last night off. He's in the starting lineup again tonight. Brandon Crawford, scheduled day of rest on the day he was named an All-Star. So Estrada's the shortstop. Solano and Flores also on the infield. And Jalen Davis gets a chance to start for the first time this year with the Giants. Anthony DeSclafani, the Giants starter and their 9th place hitter. And here's the guy that they will face, Caleb Smith, the left-hander on the mound for Arizona.
Caleb Smith, 29 years of age, 6 feet tall, 205-pounder. And he's a guy who's a swing guy. I mean, he's had 7 starts. He's also had 18 appearances coming out of the pen. 2-4 on the year. And look at the strikeouts, 75 and 64 innings, the blemish. The walks, one strength that he does have is he will pitch in, and look at right-handers hit against him, 194, lefties hitting 238. He's a 4-pitch guy, a fastball, slider, changeup, curveball guy. You're going to see a lot of fastballs, but he does like that inside corner on the third base side, and that's one of his big strengths. The key, grind him out, because as we mentioned, he's got 33 walks. He doesn't have the best command for the most part. I mean, that doesn't say he's not going to have it tonight, but you have to test him. You have to take some pitches early in the game.
Giants been so good at that all year long, and we are ready to go. So Caleb Smith of the Diamondbacks against Slater, Estrada, and Mike Yastrzemski. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Glad you're spending your holiday with us. And the first pitch fastball comes in, but also misses up. It's ball 1 to Slater, who had to sleep a little better last night.
Oh, yeah, he'd been grinding so hard.
Right on the corner, it's 1-1. Austin, who hadn't had an extra base hit in the month of June. So last night, early July, hits that booming home run that won the game for the Giants. Just inside, ball 2.
I mean, he's one of those guys you know he's going to come inside. I mean, you've read all the scout reports and all the numbers and the success that he's had on that side of the plate. So when you're aware of it, I mean, you will alter your style. You will cheat. You will open up, and you will try and look for that side of the plate.
He goes toward the outside, called a strike.
With the changeup, and that was a good one.
Jeremy Rayak is the home plate umpire. Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, at second base. Jeremy, I remember a few years ago, Giants played a game in Miami. Madison Bumgarner was on the mound. Jeremy Rayak was a brand new young umpire, and he kicked Bumgarner out of the game.
Well,
somehow I've never forgotten that. Austin Slater, a little bloop, and now the hits are just going to come in big bunches.
Well, and he beat the inside location. Let's take a look at that defense for the Diamondbacks tonight, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Peralta, Smith, and Reddick, best arm in center field. Ahmed and Cabrera on the left side of the infield. Van Meter and Walker on the right side. Stephen Vogt, he'll be in the squad putting down the signs. And with Stephen Vogt behind the plate, it is an invitation to steal. He does not have a good arm.
And Austin Slater is a guy who definitely can steal. So let's see. It is a left-hander on the mound, but this could be go time right away. Thairo Estrada, what an impressive series he's had. Little backdoor breaking ball for a called strike. The grand slam was the big highlight, but he's shown a lot of patience in last night's game. He was on base with only 1 hit. He was on base 4 times, drew 3 walks last night. Here's Slater trying to lengthen that lead. Estrada chased the changeup.
Got his 4th of July belt going.
Yes, he does.
I love how the players will get into it with their shoes, with their socks, with their belts and sleeves. And It's fun. It's fun for a player.
0-2, and Estrada hits a high drive to left field. Peralta all the way back onto the warning track for out number 1. And then Peralta fires in towards second, but good base running by Slater. He went back and tagged, and he makes it into second base.
I thought that ball was gone. We're so conditioned at Chase Field that any fly ball to either side of the field, you're thinking gone. But as you point out, I mean, it's a productive out in that Slater moved up in scoring position.
Good job by Austin there to get back and tag up. So now Mike Yastrzemski. It is a little different in Phoenix now that they use the humidor there. That's only been the last, what, maybe 2.5 years. Still a great place to hit.
Well, and you know, the whole theory behind the humidor totally makes sense. A ball, by definition in the rule book, can weigh between 5 and 5 1/4 ounces. When you buy balls in bulk, like most teams do, you'll store the balls. And in a dry environment like Colorado or in Phoenix, those balls dry out. They get lighter, and lighter balls go farther. Put them in a humidor, they keep their moisture, they keep their weight.
I think Slater, there's a chance that Austin Slater would consider making a break for third.
Yeah, the only thing with a left-handed hitter up, I mean, it's just a clear shot for a catcher. Even a guy with who doesn't have a great arm, he'd have to have a great jump, and he does have a great first step on the base pass. Good instinctive base runner.
Caleb Smith paying attention to him. Yastrzemski 1-2. He has had a home run in last night's game. He also drew the walk in front of the Slater home run, which was a hidden play in last night's game, but a big play against the lefty Buchter. Always been a guy who can handle left-handed pitching. 2-2.
See a lot of high fastballs in on righties and a lot of high fastballs up and away on lefties.
Buster Posey waiting on deck. Runner at second, 1 out. Yastrzemski raked that one to right field, but it's hanging. And Josh Reddick has it for out number 2. That was solid contact.
Yeah, he went down and dug that one out. That was right there below the knees, middle in. You know, the guy's got the best lifetime history, and granted it's only 5 at bats, but Buster's got 4 hits against Caleb Smith with two doubles. And we're going to find out just how aggressive Caleb Smith is going to go after him here with an open base.
Yeah. When you tell me about a pitcher's willingness, ability to come inside to a right-handed hitter, I think you better really come inside if you're going to try to do that against Buster.
Especially now. I mean, he's always had the reputation of being quick middle in, but he's got his lower foundation back, and he's as quick now as he was his rookie year.
Ball 1. On the 4th of July. Maybe you're watching up in the mountains, out at the beach. Holiday, big league baseball. Right on the outside.
Nice location there with a backdoor slider.
We first saw Caleb Smith with the Marlins. Originally came up with the Yankees. Now in Arizona. And he's been a bright spot. It's obviously been a real tough year for the D-backs, but he's been arguably their best pitcher.
Checking his card. What's this guy look for? 1-1. Okay, I'm going to throw a fastball up and in. When I see a starter, especially a starter out there checking his card, especially during the middle of an at bat.
Posey had a pretty good cut at the high fastball.
He was on it. And the reason I say that is because every pitch you throw has something to say about the next pitch that you're going to throw. You throw something soft away, well, that sets up hard stuff up and in. You throw something up and in, you can climb a little bit higher up and in, or you can go soft stuff away. Heading the count 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, you have a chance to go out of the strike zone. I mean, what you're throwing dictates what you throw, not what that little cheat sheet in your back pocket tells you to do.
1-2, tried to backdoor him again.
I mean, you get a sixth sense, and when you got it rocking out there and you have a feel of your 4 or 5 types of movement, you're 3 pitches ahead in your mind. You don't only know what you want to throw the pitch you're about to throw, but you know what you want to throw the next 2 or sometimes 3 pitches.
3-2.
I think the cheat sheet said take the open base.
God, it sure feels that way. Well, we'll see. Maybe try to make that perfect backdoor breaking ball, catch the corner, and if not, if it misses, move on.
It's a good one.
3-2 to Posey, and Posey lines that one over the shortstop into left field, and that's going to put the Giants ahead. I don't think it was a bad pitch, but Buster Posey beat it. It's 1-0 Giants.
And as we always say, ownage is ownage. I think in the end he opted for an off-speed pitch. Yeah, that's a changeup. Hit it right off the end of the bat. But those are the kind of hits you get against a guy that you own. So a 2-strike, 2-out RBI, Giants on the board. Just enough to get it over the head of Nick Ahmed at short.
Just the pure natural hitting ability right there of Buster Posey. Not his best swing, off balance. Find a way to get it done. Darren Ruff rips the first pitch toward the gap in left center. And now we'll see if Posey can keep chugging. He's to third. Pavin Smith scoops it up. Buster Posey all the way from first is going to score. 2-0 Giants.
I try to go on the backside with a little bit of a cutter. It just kind of drifts middle in. And I got to believe with the reputation that Caleb Smith has, Ruff was looking that way because he jumped all over it, finds a gap, and with a 2-out jump, an easy score for Posey.
That's good to see from Darren Ruff because he's had a quiet week, and we know how important he can be to this team.
Well, if they could get Ruff and Slater back hot, look out.
Then all those worries about, are they vulnerable against left-handers? Do they have the weapons off the bench against a lefty late in the game? All those disappear if those two guys are cooking. And speaking of a guy who can rake lefties, Wilmer Flores. Wilmer's really, over the last couple weeks, he's been the Giants' hottest hitter. Caught the outside.
That was a good look to see that little late movement that just sort of took out the outside corner. See hit the corner with that pitch. I mean, you're aware of it if you're hitting from the right side. Then you have a tendency to lean out there. And once you do that, then he's got you. Then you play to his strength, which is trying to put cut on your hands.
Good take. Really, every Giants hitter in this inning. Slater's hit wasn't a rocket. Posey's hit wasn't a rocket, but Estrada hit one to the wall almost. Yastrzemski lined out. Every Giants hitter has had a good at bat here in the first inning.
And they're grinding him down. Next pitch will be number 24.
Wilmer, it's a high pop fly left center. Peralta and Smith. It'll be David Peralta for out number 3. But the Giants get a couple of runs against Caleb Smith. DeSclafani to the mound, pitching with the lead.
Ball on NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Pacifico Beer. Born in Baja and loved in the Bay. Pacifico Beer. Please drink responsibly.
Now, I would think kayaking or rafting down the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon, that would be a pretty good way to spend July 4th.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
But another good way is to enjoy some Giants baseball. The Giants and the Diamondbacks. 2-0 Giants, and now the starting lineups for the Diamondbacks, brought to you by your Bay Area GMC dealers. No Eduardo Escobar again, named an all-star today. He's had a little muscle tightness, so they're taking it easy on him. Nick Ahmed has been red hot lately. Last night he batted first. Tonight he's hitting 8th in the lineup with Caleb Smith, the pitcher behind him. And Anthony DeSclafani ready to make his 17th start of the year.
And take a look at what DeSclafani has done in 16 starts, 8-3, 2.91 ERA. Those are all-star worthy numbers. He was not named on the National League All-Star, but certainly deserving. When you take your at-bats against DeSclafani, I mean, you're going to see a fastball that can go mid to high 90s with exceptional command of the corners. He got a great slider, a changeup. He will cut and sink that fastball.
Josh Van Meter, left-handed hitter, playing second base for the D-backs, and that's 2 fastballs that weren't all that close by DeSclafani standards. Counts 2-0. Well, you know, Anthony's raring to go here tonight, coming off his start against the Dodgers in LA at the beginning of this road trip that did not go as well as he's used to pitching. It wasn't a disaster. The beginning of the game was a little rough. After that, he settled in.
Yeah, well, so far, I mean, in his career, the Dodgers have kind of been his Achilles heel. If there's going to be a bad break that goes against him, it's usually going to be when he's pitching against him, more so than any other club.
2-1 and a good high fastball.
You know, and everybody that plays this game, if you have a career at the big leagues and say you pitch 8, 9, 10 years, you're going to go look back, and there's going to be 1 or 2 teams that just owned you. And likewise, there'll be 1 or 2 teams that you get all the breaks on. It's just how it works.
Giants overload the right side on the infield. Be interesting to watch Thairo Estrada tonight play shortstop. It's a high bar when you're filling in for Brandon Crawford. That was a good slider. Strike 3 call.
Wow, he gave up on that completely. Let's take a look at the Giants defense. It's brought to you by Geico, starting in the outfield from left to right. Davis, Slater, Yastrzemski's good assist arms across the board. Estrada and Flores on the left side of the infield. Solano and Ruff on the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So now David Peralta with 1 out. Giants got 2 in the top of the first. Peralta's been a good hitter for a long time. He was originally a pitcher when he first became a professional.
He's a great athlete then. What can I tell you? You know, Bob Brindley says something interesting about him. He says this guy puts a lot of pressure on himself. At this time every year, his name for the last 3 years has started circulating in some rumors, and it really affects him because he does not want to leave Arizona. Says we always look forward to the day after the trade deadline because David Peralta will truly relax, but it affects his game. It's one of the hardest things for a professional is to not pay attention to all the rumors if your name's in them.
4-pitch walk.
We'll take the Giants on the go this season and stream the games on NBCSportsBayArea.com and the My Teams app. Brought to you by your NorCal Honda dealers.
Little sun peeking through the windows at Chase Field. On a Sunday late afternoon, early evening in the desert, roof closed. They'll open it, I guess, for the fireworks. I hope they open it for fireworks after the game. That wouldn't be much of a show if they kept the roof closed.
No, but I've seen him indoors, Houston Astrodome.
As Drew Guerrero. There was no, you couldn't open that roof.
I couldn't believe it. You talk about loud. My goodness.
4th of July fireworks at the Astrodome.
Yeah, when it was all done, I mean, the smoke that was in there, you'd have thought you were at Fort Sumter.
Posey sets the target in, and DeSclafani went right in, right to the target. 0-2.
He does not have a problem planting a ball in the inside corner to either side. One of his strengths. Very aggressive inside.
He's faced the Diamondbacks one time this year. That was about 3 weeks ago in San Francisco. They made him work pretty hard. He pitched well, but he only went 5 innings in that start. He threw 87 pitches.
Yeah, he had to grind. I always thought the guys who were best suited to pitch inside were the guys who were best suited to defend themselves should somebody decide to try and charge him if you drill him. And DeSclafani, I mean, he's got a little Marine in him.
I don't believe he would shy away. The expression never changes.
Oh, he's all business.
On the ground, and that could be 2. Solano to Estrada, who turns it very nicely. That was smooth. So the Giants defense, even without Brandon Crawford, gets the ground ball, turns the double play. 2-0 Giants. Cast is presented by USAA. The United States of America celebrating its 245th birthday today. Happy birthday, USA. And we're glad you're with us from Phoenix, Arizona. Giants have a 2-0 lead, inning number 2.
You know, and there's a sense of normalcy back. I mean, we've gone through most of COVID, and the crowds are starting to come back. And I'm just so happy that they've come back in time for 4th of July.
Yeah.
I mean, that's baseball's signature holiday.
It really is. Donovan Solano, bottom third of the order against Caleb Smith. First pitch curve for a strike.
I think he steals pitches with that pitch. I don't think he tries to finish hitters with it.
Solano had 3 hits last night. Hit that one pretty well to center field. Pavin Smith has to move back on it, but he gets there. 1 out.
This is one of the matchups I was looking forward to tonight. You have a guy out there in the mound who's really good on the inside corner to the right-handers, and you have a guy at the plate who likes the ball middle away. The way that you would pitch him, because his powers on the outer half of the plate is in. And because of that, I want to see how Jalen Davis is going to prepare for that, because he knows he's going to get stuff up and in.
Yeah, this is a test for him. That one missed in.
All right, time now to take a look at the beautiful dive and high backhander. We always talk about when you're making a backhanded reception, if that glove, when you make that catch, is above your head, when you're laid out like that, that's a tough play. He made it look easy.
You know, that was a big play in the game. The Giants had just taken the lead, and Tyler Rogers, who's had such a great year and has been worked so frequently, he had a whole week off, and I think Tyler was just almost like a little too fresh last night. Wasn't quite as sharp as he usually is, and his defense helped him out. Still pitched well.
There's the strength on weakness that we're talking about. The strength of Caleb Smith on the inside corner above the hands to a guy who likes the ball middle away. And that time Smith won it.
They set up in again, and Davis pulls that pitch foul.
But look, if you're going to be a big leaguer, you have to be able to make adjustments to certain pitching styles. And for Jalen Davis to stay here, he has to be able to beat that location or lay off it.
In a way, it's the adjustment that Steven Duggar's made that you've talked about.
Identical. And it took him 2 years to learn how to hit it took him 2 years to learn an approach that gave him a chance, and now it's become a strength of his because he has such a good opposite field approach with it. That's exciting. And the upside on Jalen Davis is monumental if he could get that, if he could do the same thing that Duggar has done.
I mean, this guy's got arguably the most power of anybody in the Giants organization. He's got monster, just pure natural power. Two. Strike three called.
All right, time now for our Giants Quick Pick presented by Coors Light. Quick Pick is a new predictive game for fans to play free through the Ballpark app. Predict what will happen before every home game, and you can win prizes like tickets and Alaska Airlines flight credit. Download the Ballpark app, play from home or right here at Oracle Park, where Dave and I are tonight, and make your quick picks to get the game.
All right, do we think if we made a quick pick, is Anthony DeSclafani going to get a rare Giants pitcher hit?
I don't know, dude.
We just haven't seen very many of them. He's got one.
And granted, the one that he had was impressive.
Oh, it was a 400-foot opposite field double. It's in there.
Well, and he thinks he should hit. I mean, he's got a good swing.
He's a pretty good bunter. I think if you're from the same hometown as Bruce Springsteen, you should have a good game on July 4th.
That's right.
And that's Anthony DeSclafani,
who was born in the USA.
Yes, he was. That's kind of what I mean. Freehold, New Jersey, the home of two really accomplished people. Many more than that, I'm sure, but he's never going to be the most famous guy from his hometown.
No.
Got him swinging. So not this time for DeSclafani. Caleb Smith retires the Giants in order. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Giants lead 2-0.
Tap brought to you by Pacifico. The Giants return home to host the Cardinals. St. Louis coming to town tomorrow. It's a 3 o'clock game with pregame live at 2:30. Tuesday, Wednesday nights are 6:30 games. Pregame live at 6. So off day Thursday, and then the Nationals check in for a weekend series Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's what's on tap. Brought to you by Pacifico.
The last week before the All-Star break, in honor of Dwayne Kuiper, I challenged the middle guy to an arm wrestling contest.
Yep, I would bet on you. I have to believe that those ladies feel very well protected tonight.
Don't pick a fight with that row. All decked out with the USA gear, though.
Oh, yeah, they've got the spirit.
Ready for the holiday. Diamondbacks will come up here in the bottom of the second against Anthony DeSclafani, Christian Walker, then Pavin Smith and Josh Reddick. Walker had a big hit last night against Sammy Long. Giants have a 2-0 lead here, but remember last night the Giants were up 4-0 and the D-backs came back and had the lead until late. I at least give the Diamondbacks credit. I know they're having just this miserable year, and the last couple months have been zero fun for them, but they have played the Giants hard.
They really have. And, you know, Torey Lovullo, the manager for them, has really kept them going. And it's not easy to do.
On the ground, Solano was playing up the middle, so he had to go to his left. He made the play, 1 out. Now a word from Toyota.
Now's your last chance to save during Toyota's 4th of July sales event. Don't miss out. Get $750 cash back on RAV4, Venza, Highlander, CHR, and Camry. But hurry, it all ends Tuesday. Toyota, let's go places.
So 1 out. Pavin Smith comes up against DeSclafani. Pavin Smith hits that one to center field. That's the big part of the ballpark. Austin Slater with a lot of room out there. You think Austin's going to take a peek up sometime tonight and look at that balcony where he hit the ball last night?
Heck yeah. Every inning between pitches.
I would.
And that's how impressive that swing of the bat was. None of that, but it gave the Giants a lead. They were trailing. That makes it even better.
It wasn't maybe quite as dramatic as Yastrzemski's grand slam, but it was a similar feeling game. Giants last night had to come from behind. They got a home run when they were down to take the lead and ultimately win the game. Estrada will be the one defender on the left side, and they hit it right to Thairo Estrada. Josh Reddick does. That was a 5-pitch inning. All 5 pitches were strikes. That's the way to get it done. Slater's coming up in the 3rd, 2-0 Giants.
Giants baseball on NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by the Cheesesteak Shop. Nominate your hometown hero and the Cheesesteak Shop will do them right.
You know, it's a beautiful place, but I'm not that good with heights. The Grand Canyon's not like the best place for me.
Well, you're right. It's quite a hole up there. I mean, it's one of the most awe-inspiring places I've ever been. It's a sacred place.
It lives up. You know, you hear about it. If you've never been, you drive up there and think there's no way that it can live up to what people say. But and then you walk to the rim, and you just can't. It takes your breath away.
And takes your words away. You just can't even say a word. You're so stunned. And then you feel it. It's a sacred place.
It'd be a good, you know, if Giants fans have never been there, go watch the Giants play the Diamondbacks, and then it was about a 3-hour drive north of Phoenix, maybe a little longer. Austin Slater might have done it again. He launched that one, aiming for the same spot. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. For now, 467.
Oh, man, free the hostage. A 108 miles an hour. And they throw a changeup up there, and he was sitting soft and unloads. And everybody in this ballpark knew it was gone. It's just a matter of how far gone it was. Wow.
Second home run in as many games. And speaking of take your breath away,
he got some sleep last night.
He did. He looked so fresh. He's smiling.
Yeah, he's out of June. He survived June.
That's his 4th home run, 450 plus this year. I mean, you think of the guys who hit the ball, you know, to the places in ballparks where nobody else goes. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Joey Gallo. You know, there are a few others. But he just doesn't look it in stature. But Austin Slater is on that list.
Oh, he's built like a soccer player. You know, long and lean, and you know, you just don't think he's a guy that's going to put the ball out of the ballpark at 467 feet. But his bat speed is premier, and his hand speed and his wrist strength. You know, and we talk about how he slept well last night. Well, so did Donnie Ecker. and all the Giants hitting instructors. I mean, all those guys, they've been grinding hard with him, and you know, they were his biggest fans and supporter, keeping him going.
Borderline pitch, called a strike to Estrada, so it's 3-2 to Tyro, who hit one to the warning track his first time up.
Donnie Ecker, Dustin Lind.
Little chopper. Smith is going to make the play himself.
And Justin Veely, I want to give all those guys props for keeping him going. Well, Giants fans are psyched about the suite experience they're having at Oracle Park. You can get a private suite for upcoming Cardinals and Nationals games. Suites are available for as few as 8 guests, starting at $200 a person. Secure your suite at sfgiants.com/suite offers.
Mike Yastrzemski lined out back in the first inning. I think the Diamondbacks might like to acquire Austin Slater. He hits all these long home runs. He seems to do it a lot in this ballpark.
Yeah, why is he not in the home run contest?
He should he should be flown in special to Coors Field.
Good fastball there from Smith. He got that up on the hands nicely. Finally a smile.
Yep. And now you can go talk to everybody. The whole dugout opens up again.
Life is good.
All right, so longest career home runs for Austin Slater. That now, since we revised the one last night, which I'm still wondering about that one, but anyway, this one today, the longest one he's ever hit. Walker dove for that one from first, but Smith got over to cover.
I mean, if he catches this ball, we're talking about Christian Walker, the first baseman. If he catches this ball, it's going to be a very difficult play, which is why, you know, you have to realize if you're going to a location where you're going to lose your feet, maybe you shouldn't be going that way. Plus, you had your second baseman right there.
Right there.
Got to check that out before the ball's hit. Really, the Diamondbacks catch a break that he didn't get to it.
Buster, who drove in a run in the first inning with an RBI hit with 2 strikes and 2 outs, and then scored on Darren Ruff's double. Takes the changeup for ball 1. Gosh, with Austin Slater looking like this again, and it happened fast, it just changes the outlook for the Giants against a lefty. I mean, this lineup right now looks fearsome.
But, you know, that's how it goes. It comes back quick. Gabe Kapler made an observation the other day that, you know, his load was so small, it wasn't in sync with when he would drop his front foot in his approach. So slow it down a little bit bigger load, and the timing now affects the front foot, and then you get your hips. And with Austin Slater, I mean, he's such, when he gets in sync, I mean, everything in his mechanical machine is perfect, and he maximizes out on bat speed, and it's obvious as far as he hits the ball when he hits it. Dave Greshner, trainer, talking hitting.
It's contagious. Now Buster's had some good cuts here against Caleb Smith.
Slider down in the dirt, down in the dirt, down in the dirt.
He didn't get it down in the dirt. He got it way in.
I always like that about a catcher. I mean, you know, he can pump you up by the way he puts a sign down. He'll give you a fastball sign, then he makes a fist like, yeah, give me a good one, you know. And Stephen Vogt is that way. His hands, they speak a language all into their own.
Big time. Got him swinging with a high fastball. But Austin Slater last night hit one that might still have been going, and then he did a little better even today. Just amazing. 2 booming home runs. It's now 3-0 Giants.
Giants baseball on NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Twin Pine Casino and Hotel. It's the $75 Sizzling Summer Cash Giveaway in July.
Austin Slater's slump is over. A second Slater home run in as many games has the Giants lead now 3-0, bottom of the third, and Anthony DeSclafani against the bottom part of the order for the D-backs. Stephen Vogt, former Giant, stands in. And a good fastball right at the knees to Vogt. Well, we talked the other night, Mike, about Stephen Vogt, how so many people think he's going to be a future manager, how Vogt would like to be. If you're going to sign up for it, though, you do know that at some point you could have a season or a stretch like the one that Torey Lovullo is experiencing with the Diamondbacks.
Well, you're right. I mean, you never know what you're going to get. And for Torey Lovullo, it's been a perfect storm between injury and guys going into slumps. And, you know, he's lost 4 guys out of his rotation and 2 of his big arms in the bullpen. But I tell you what, you know, you mentioned that Stephen Vogt wants to be a manager. He's watching everything that Torey Lovullo has done, everything. And it's your reference point to see how your manager, how your leader handles adversity. And this has been a season of adversity. And Torey Lovullo has been great. I mean, he's been positive. I mean, it's hard to keep guys going. But you watch the way that he brings his guys out before every game after a tough loss, and we've seen several that he's had, and they simply go through some of the things they didn't do well the night before. And then one of the games in this, I think it was the first or second game, I think it was the second game of the series, there was a pop-up problem. There was a communication with a pop-up problem. The next day, he brings them out. They were taking pop-ups. They were practicing communication with pop-up, and that's what you do. You applaud them with their good work. You keep them positive. You keep them fresh, and just hope that the game turns around for you.
That one hop, kind of a weird hop, and stabbed by Thairo Estrada. So far has looked smooth out at shortstop for the Giants. It's nice to see.
Well, when you look at a guy for the first time, you watch his feet. How quick does he get set after he makes a play? And just effortless, just short, choppy steps, get himself in position to make a throw to his target.
So now Nick Ahmed comes up. I mean, Torey Lovullo is still a young guy. He feels like he's aged 10 years this year alone. I mean,
it's hard.
It is a hard job. I hope he can keep some sense of humor. His dad, very famously, was a producer of Hee Haw.
Hee Haw?
Hee Haw.
Really? I loved Hee Haw.
It's a little before my time.
It was corny as corny can be, but it was, and the music was great. Roy Clark, Buck Owens, Minnie Pearl. I mean, it was a very entertaining show.
Well, there's music. There was some humor in Hee Haw, wasn't there?
Tons of it.
Okay. Now I got a piece of Buster.
Extremely corny, but, you know, fun. You know, when I was a kid, my old man loved it. He loved Hee Haw. And when your dad loves something like that, you know, you're going to be a fan too. But you didn't have to try that hard to be a fan of it. It was a fun show. Yeah, he watched Hee Haw. In fact, he could have been on Hee Haw.
Not a lot of chuckles right at the moment. 0-2 to Ahmed. Sam Lavello, one of the producers of Hee Haw, Tori's late father. And he does, when you ask him about it, he'll tell you stories about being on set, being around, hearing all the stories, knowing some of those people.
That's a good slider right there.
Really good.
Anthony DeSclafani. You can't throw a better one.
Pitcher number 31, Caleb Smith.
Caleb Smith comes up, pitches left-handed, bats right-handed. He's 0 for 11 with 10 strikeouts this year.
I mean, there's a lot of that going around.
A lot. If next year we show up for opening day and there's a DH for good in both leagues, that is a big reason why.
Well, it's just the skills have eroded so dramatically, and it's not just hitting, but bunting. And you know, the only way I can explain it is guys just aren't doing that. They're not spending that much time with it. How else can you explain it? I mean, we've seen some good hitting pitchers around the league. Giants do not have a good hitting staff. And usually when you have a staff that aren't good hitters, they're not good bunters, and it's kind of true.
I mean, Jacob deGrom for like 2 months had knocked in more runs than he'd allowed, earned runs, which is, I mean, that sounds impossible. Well, it's 3-1 to Caleb Smith, so DeSclafani's got to throw a strike here.
You can't explain it. It just happens. Well, Giants fans, Xfinity Mobile delivers fast nationwide 5G on the most reliable network. Break free from the big three and save with Xfinity Mobile.
We won't even try to explain it.
Well, a guy who doesn't have a hit, struck out just about every at bat, and you walk him. You know, you can't explain that. Sometimes, I don't care who you are, when you're on that rubber, you cannot throw a strike to a pitcher.
Ball 1 to Van Meter. Ruff's not holding Caleb Smith on, so he'll play behind him.
Now, if you're Caleb Smith, that's an opportunity to steal. If you're safe, you're in score position. If you're out, so what? You lead off the next inning with your leadoff hitter. That last slider was very similar to the strikeout pitch that he took in his first at bat, where he just froze on it. He's not seeing the spin on that ball at all. So you get that second strike with another pitch. Now you can come back in a 2-strike count and try and throw that slider that he's not seeing. When the guy's not seeing the spin, he's not getting a swing off on it.
One, two. Threw it up.
He's not happy about that location. But those are things you pick up along the way. DeSclafani is in his 7th year at the big league level. When it first happens to a big league hitter, you're thinking, wow, what just happened? You don't really understand it. And as you play longer and get more experience, you learn to trust those things.
Another 2-2. And he hit that one on one hop to second. Good pitch from DeSclafani, and no problem with the walk to the pitcher. John Miller's coming over to the TV side. Ask John how his 4th of July is going. Giants lead 3-0.
Buster Posey, as he became a 7-time All-Star, and in honor of number 28 and all of his accomplishments, Visa is presenting a $28 flash sale. $28 lower box tickets to weekend games, which is up to a 40% savings, are now available until July 8th. Go to sfgiants.com/Posey to take advantage of this flash sale opportunity. Chase Field, Arizona, 3-0 Giants. We're in the top of the 4th inning, and now it's time for me to introduce my partner and our Hall of Famer, John Miller. Welcome.
Well, thanks, Mike. And Austin Slater, man, all of a sudden seems to have found himself. And now when he's hitting home runs, I mean, he is really hitting them. These are some of the most spectacular home runs we've seen all year. 3 of them in this ballpark in Arizona. And the longest was the one that he hit today. What a home run that was.
And he's smiling again. I forgot he even had a smile.
So
good to see.
And hopefully there are a few more lefties on the schedule upcoming. There is a lefty tomorrow, by the way, with the Cardinals in town. So Slater should be back in there again. And he seems to have found himself after a month of figuratively wandering in the desert.
Well, he got a good night's sleep last night. That's what his home run that decided the game did for him.
Darren Ruff will lead off for the Giants. And Darren Ruff got a big 2-out hit that got the Giants their 2nd run in the 1st inning. He helped him add on right away as he just hit a shot into the gap that rolled right out to the 413 marker out there to get Buster Posey home all the way from first. He's another guy the Giants are anxious to get going again. He was so hot when the team went to Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, but then he got hurt. Brandon Belt was out for a while, and Ruff was filling in beautifully. Hot hand with the bat. Then he got hurt. That one off to the right. Vogt. He had lots of friends there, but Vogt was able to take it. And Ruff is gone, 1 away.
You do have a pretty good area here in Arizona that is it favors a pitcher on a pop-up. Favoring a pitcher simply means a catcher or first baseman has a room to make a play. At Oracle Park, that's a souvenir.
He kind of was looking at Christian Walker. And maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but I was kind of reading into that look to Walker of something like, you know, it's not illegal for you to call me off on that play. There's a curveball that misses to Wilmer Flores.
It is an easier play for a first baseman if he can get there.
Wilmer hit a fly ball to shallow left center his first time. That is in there for a strike, 1-1. Now last year, and really the first several weeks of this year, the Giants would really rough up left-handed pitching. Get those righties in there and do some real damage. The check swing, did he go? No, says Pat Hoberg, the first base umpire. 2-1 the count now. But a few guys were struggling with the bats, or a few of the key guys were injured, or sometimes both. But they also just weren't facing many lefties. The Giants only faced 5 left-handed starters in the entire month of June. There is Donovan Solano on deck. Giants with a 3-0 lead here in the 4th. 3-2. Threw him that breaking ball on a 3-1 count.
Not a big breaking ball, but it's quick. It's a late breaker. Flores had given up on that pitch. Oh, wants to throw that again.
Back to the screen. 3-2. Giants home tomorrow, 3:05 start. And Kevin Gausman officially named to the National League All-Star team today. And we'll have it for you here on NBC Sports Bay Area with the Giants pregame live starting at 2:30 tomorrow. And a fastball, and he fouled that one back. Still 3-2. Giants will face a lefty in that game tomorrow. Kwang Hyun Kim going for the Cardinals. Torey Lovullo and his D-backs, they're not playing tomorrow. 3-2. And that's hit high in the air. Out in front of the plate goes Stephen Vogt. Got this one too.
Yeah, you saw the technique, and what a catcher tries to do is he goes out to catch a pop-up that's right around the home plate area. Is he'll get out to it, then he'll turn around and he'll face the crowd, because the spin of the ball will come back to you and it will start to drift a little bit towards the mound, and you want to put yourself in position. The easiest way to do it is turn around and face the stands to account for that little slide that comes down to you. He executed it perfectly.
So 2 down, nobody on. A couple of pop-ups to the catcher to start the inning. Donovan Solano now lined out to center, his first time. Strike one.
I've never seen an inning where all 3 outs were made by pop-ups to the catcher. Get a little excited.
Well, if we do see it, I hope it's the only time in our lives.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it if the Giants scored like 8 runs and then they finally get the 3rd out by way of a pop-up.
Well, that's true. That's true. He could catch all 3, and there could be 3 different pitchers end up in the inning.
Exactly.
Between the second one and the third one. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that one is along the right field line. Reddick, and he gets there. So that's the quickest inning yet for Caleb Smith.
Baseball on NBC Sports Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota. With 10 hybrids to choose from, there's one for everyone. Toyota, let's go places. By Kelly Moore Paints, the Painter's Paint Store. And by Mercury Insurance. Get a quote at mercuryinsurance.com.
That's outside Chase Field, and this is the look inside with the roof closed. David Peralta leads off against DeSclafani, and that one runs off the outside for ball 1.
First pitch changeup, miss away, sets up, fastball in.
Peralta walked his first time.
With Buster saying, "Nah, give me that again. Let's see if you can get that in the strike zone." And I like that, especially pitches like curveballs and changeups. If you guy doesn't get it in the strike zone right away, call it again. Let him make the adjustment.
So 2-0 the count. Peralta walked his first time. And he drills that one to right. Yaz goes back in right center with the catch. That might have started to knuckle on him a little bit, but he stayed with it nicely.
That ball was lit. 109. You don't get a lot of range as an outfielder when a guy hits it 109. And fortunately for DeSclafani, it was pretty much at Yastrzemski. He just had to back up a few steps, but that got on him quick.
Now Asdrubal Cabrera grounded into a double play to end the first inning. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Eduardo Escobar was named to the National League All-Star team today as the Arizona representative, and man, he sounded thrilled. First time ever for him. And he, as the ball is bounced foul on a changeup, strike one, and he started talking about growing up in Venezuela in a poor family. He had a dream of playing baseball, being in the major leagues, and now having realized that dream, being named to an all-star team, that was just beyond all expectations and anything he ever dreamed of. That one spins in there for a called strike 2. Anyway, kind of cool just to see how really overwhelmed he was by the whole thing.
It's going to be a whole week of adrenaline for him.
He's had a little problem with a quad strain, and Troy Lovello saying it's not a big deal. He just, with this All-Star thing, they have a day off tomorrow. Gives him a little extra time off, and he's going to be very busy come the All-Star break. 1-2 now to Cabrera. Christian Walker on deck. Kevin Gausman and Brandon Crawford join Buster Posey as Giants being named to the All-Star team. That is a swinging strike three, 95-mile-an-hour heat.
Right above the hands. Perfect pitch.
Posey, who of course was voted in by the fans as the National League All-Star catcher. Brandon Crawford will be going to his third game. And Kevin Gausman, who grew up about 30 minutes, probably closer than 30 miles, 30 minutes drive from Coors Field in Denver. So he'll be going home as a National League All-Star, his first ever selection. Congratulations to them. They did it the old-fashioned way. They earned it.
You know, and I mean, there's certain things in this game that are adrenaline games. You know, opening day, you know, if you have a rivalry game, that's a big game. Playoffs, obviously. I never felt more adrenaline in my life than I did at the All-Star game.
Right on the outside corner, 1-1.
It was so intense that when I got called up to say, okay, you're pitching the ninth inning, I went out and I was ready to go in 2 pitches, literally. I was so amped I had to sit down after like 5 pitches. It just, yeah, I'd never had that type of adrenaline.
1-1 the count to Walker. 2-1.
Hey, unfortunately for me, I had played 10 years before I finally made a team. I only made 1, but to be able to experience that adrenaline, but have a little bit of an idea how to deal with it, which I did. I calmed it down. But had I not been around for 10 years prior to that moment, it would have overwhelmed me.
That one is popped up foul and out of play off to the right. 2-2.
And I don't know how many guys make the All-Star team. Was it 30 guys or 32? I don't know what the number is, but
32 for each league right now.
So it's basically 64 guys out there trying not to screw up in front of 20 million people. I mean, it's kind of how it is. And it may be a bigger audience than that. I don't know, but it's you are completely amped up like nothing I'd ever seen before.
2-2 the count to Christian Walker. He grounded out to second his first time. 2 down, nobody on. Yaz has plenty of room, and the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down. That's 4 hitless innings in the books for DeSclafani. Jalen Davis coming up.
Broadcast is brought to you by USAA, proud supporter of the military community.
Chase Field in the desert in Arizona. The Giants in the final game, the 4th game of this series, with a 3-0 lead. Jalen Davis leads off against Caleb Smith in the 5th. Taking ball 1. DeSclafani, the pitcher, on deck, and then Austin Slater, who has become the man these last 2 games of this series. A game-winning home run last night, and a single, scoring the first run tonight, and then he hit another spectacular home run, more spectacular even than the one he hit last night. He is due up 3rd in this inning. Don't miss it. There's a pop-up. Christian Walker.
That was up there. Well, a Giants game is a great way to reconnect with colleagues, friends, family, especially when organizing a group. Group tickets are available for all home games. Whatever your occasion, experience it at Oracle Park. Text 415-972-BALL or visit sfgiants.com/groups and check it out.
You were talking about all the adrenaline that you experienced as an All-Star back in 1986, your 20-win season. DeSclafani takes a called strike. He struck out his first time. And the part about the adrenaline made me think of the 2012 All-Star game 9 years ago, which Matt Cain started in Kansas City. That's right in the outside corner. And Matt Cain ended up going the first 2 innings in that game, which surprised a lot of people because that seemed to be sort of something that wasn't done any longer. Pitchers were just going 1 inning, but he went 2. And that's all for DeSclafani. Well, let's go back to 1986 at the Astrodome. Mike Krukow introduced before you look pretty excited.
My son Jarek, he got to go. Got to meet Vice President Bush. He came in and talked with everybody, and this was the 9th inning. We wore white shoes. It wasn't a great look with that uni, but one of the funnest things I ever got to do.
Was that a line drive right back to you?
Comebacker.
Quick reactions. Thank God you had all that adrenaline pulsing.
Cal Ripken Jr.
Fouled up by Austin Slater.
I faced 3 guys. That was Cal Ripken Jr. He comebacker, and then a pop up to Jesse Barfield and Frank White. So, you know, that was it. It was done.
And so, how many pitches did you throw?
I don't know.
6 or 7?
I don't know. Didn't feel like any. I was floating.
Slater has singled and hit that gargantuan home run. Now it's 1 ball and 1 strike. But in 2012, the reason I'm talking about the adrenaline, Justin Verlander started for the American League, and he admitted afterward that he just couldn't control the adrenaline. And the National League jumped on him, and Pablo Sandoval in particular, I think, hit a 3-run triple. That's into left field. We got in on him. And that's all. The first time Slater has been retired in this game. 3-0 Giants.
Our coverage cam at Chase Field is the backstop RoboCam. It's located behind home plate. The backstop RoboCam provides great shots of the playing field, and it gives viewers a view from the box seats behind home plate.
And there's a first pitch strike to Pavin Smith. A string of 3 left-handed hitters, beginning with Smith, coming up in this inning against DeSclafani. Smith hit a fly ball to center his first time. Josh Reddick on deck. 3-0 Giants. Left center, and that's in. Base hit. That's the first hit for the D-backs against Anthony DeSclafani.
Looked like a little height. They wanted a lower target away. The thing goes up. And one thing we've learned about Pavin Smith is he's very good at going the opposite way with pitches that are away from him. It's just a good bat control base hit.
And they got kind of used to seeing that kind of a hit from him the first couple of months of this season. And the Giants have not seen so much of it in this series. What they've seen is him hit a couple of tape measure home runs. Josh Reddick now just missing ball 1.
I want to finish that point about Matt Cain because I think he proved in his career that he was one of the great big game pitchers in Giants history. And the only way you can do that is if you can handle adrenaline, and he certainly could do it.
Well, I think he also got the win in that All-Star game. 2-0 the count now. And he went the first couple of innings, but 2010, he never allowed an earned run in the postseason. He kept pitching one great game after another right through the World Series. In 2012, he was the starting pitcher the night the Giants clinched the World Series. Ruff to Estrada, back to DeSclafani, double play.
The hard way. The hard way only because the pitcher is required to make the back end. And for DeSclafani, I mean, he gets over quickly. He runs. He's fast. So that helps. But he also knew that he was going to be the guy once Darren Ruff was taken completely out of position to get back to first base. DeSclafani off. You can see how far off the bag rough is. Now DeSclafani knows. And now you need a perfect throw. And Thairo Estrada rifles a strike right to the chest of DeSclafani, and they nail it. 3-6-1 the hard way.
Now Stephen Vogt with 2 down, nobody on. Giants have turned 2 double plays back of DeSclafani tonight, which is always welcome, but it's also kind of remarkable that they haven't had that many men on base. They've only had 2 base runners with less than 2 down, and both of them got wiped out on subsequent double plays. Going back into the big part of the yard, that's Slater for the out. 5 strong in the books now for DeSclafani. Estrada, then Yastrzemski and Posey coming up.
The day brought to you by your California Ford dealers. On this day 38 years ago, Dave Righetti threw a no-hitter against the Red Sox in Yankee Stadium. Ragg struck out Wade Boggs to end the game. Righetti threw 22 pitches in the first inning and ended up throwing 132 pitches with New York City temperatures reaching 94 degrees. It was the first Yankees no-hitter since Don Larson's perfect game in the 1956 World Series. Nice going, Rags.
4th of July, Dave Righetti, 24 years old. He'd just been the American League Rookie of the Year a couple of years before that. And he was angry that day. He had something to prove that day. That game, unlike this year, that game was it was the final game before the All-Star break. The All-Star game was going to be 2 days later back in 1983. And he was upset, and I'll tell you why. As Estrada stands in, first ball swinging against Caleb Smith, and a foul out of play. Estrada is flied out deep to left and hit a comebacker. But he was left off the All-Star team. His record going into that game on the 4th of July, 9-3. And of course 10-3 at the break with the no-hitter. And he just was very ticked off that he didn't get named to the All-Star team. And Ron Guidry, even, who was named, his teammate, a couple of days before, said, "I'm hurt, I can't make it." And Ragg said, and he was just trying to get me on the team. But then they chose somebody else anyway. They didn't choose his teammate, even when he said he wouldn't be able to play. But Dan Brown did a great article on the 25th anniversary of that, which is several years ago, in the San Jose Mercury. And his mom's birthday was the day of the All-Star game. He said, for her birthday present, I was going to make the All-Star game and pitch on her birthday. And I was a little broken up about that. And,
yeah, I don't blame him.
And ticked off. And there's a foul out of play. So Righetti, it was Harvey Keene. In those days, the All-Star manager kind of picked the rest of the team after the fans voted on the starters. But he called his agent and said, make sure you watch this game today. I don't know what's going to happen, but something. And so he didn't quite predict a no-hitter, but he was a man on a mission that day. And the big hook for the strikeout of Estrada. 1 away here in the 6th. And Yastrzemski coming up.
Good curveball. Well, in 1986, when I went, Dave Righetti was on the American League All-Star team that year. And I think I'll bet he, I don't know how many, I should look it up right now. We're talking about him, but I bet he was on at least 3 All-Star teams. I mean, he was really good.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't on that one. Dave Righetti in 1983. Rags, by the way, struck out, and I didn't know this until I read the article, which I found on Google. A great article by Dan Brown. Why am I not surprised? But he struck out 7 of the first 9 Red Sox that he faced. Yaz pops one into shallow center. Pavin Smith, and Yastrzemski is 0 for 3. Here's a brief message from Pacifico. Kai Correa on the left, the bench coach. alongside manager Gabe Kapler. Here's Buster Posey. He knocked in the first run of the game, a clutch 2-out hit. He didn't hit it real hard. He kind of blooped it over the head of the shortstop into the shallow outfield to get Slater home. That was a 2-out RBI hit for Buster in the first inning. Changeup. A ball and a strike. Posey struck out in the third. And then moments later, after his single, Darren Ruff blasted one into the gap out to the 413 marker. And Posey scored all the way from first on that double. 2-run first inning for the Giants, and then Slater's mammoth home run in the third. 3-0 Giants. Just barely missing. And the count 2-1 to Buster. But Righetti, the final out of that no-hitter, was one of the great hitters in the game at that time and in the history of the game. Wade Boggs, who rarely struck out, but Rags struck him out twice in that game, including for the final out to conclude the no-hitter. And you know who was doing the broadcast that day on the radio?
No.
Mel Allen, which I think Rags always gets a kick out of. Made it kind of special. The great veteran broadcaster. That's a strike on the outside. 3-2 to Buster, right on the corner with that breaking ball. Anyway, Dave Righetti, we miss you. Great career as a pitcher. First as a starter, reinvented himself as a closer, one of the best. Came home, was with the Giants for a time. And then a great pitching coach for the Giants. And that is a walk for Posey with 2 down. First Giants base runner since Slater's third inning home run. 11 straight had been retired by Caleb Smith in between that home run and this walk to Posey.
What did Yastrzemski do?
Yaz hit a fly ball to shallow center.
Thank you. I was looking up Dave Righetti. He was on 2 All-Star games or All-Star teams.
So he made, not that year, but later on.
86 and 87.
And he was a closer by that time.
Yep. And he pitched in the 86 game.
Called a strike on the inside, and Darren Ruff didn't think so. Ruff hit that shot into the gap for an RBI double in the first inning. Fouled out to the catcher in the fourth. Rags set a record as a closer. At the time, most saves in a season. And sometimes he was the closer from the 6th inning on. Billy Martin was his manager. And Rags would get up at the 6th, go the last 3 2/3. It was not unusual for him. And he threw well over 100 innings, 125, whatever it was, as the closer. Man, he's getting them on the inside and the outside on the edges here. 1-2. I think some hitters, okay, you call in one corner. That's too many corners. 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, a strike zone, you could give 1 corner. You can't give 4.
Wow, he jumped on that fastball and was out front of it. Foul ball.
I think most hitters would agree with that.
Well, there's always an argument, right? You get that inside corner, and then you get the outside. There's going to be an argument.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can have one or the other. You can't have both. Seriously. And there are umpires that give both.
1-2. Posey at first. That ball is hit high and deep, and goodbye. Wow. A laser beam, and almost under the overhang of the second deck. A 2-run homer, and the Giants have a 5-0 lead. That gives Ruff 3 RBIs in the game.
Boy, and he had tremendous balance on the swing. It's an off-speed pitch. And he was not fooled at all. Watch the back leg gather, the front foot get down, and every bit of that lower body is in this swing. And that is a big man unloading. That is a healthy home run.
So now Flores. And from third base, Cabrera throws him out. Wilmer is 0 for 3, but the Giants get 2 runs, all starting after 2 are down, and a 5-0 lead.
As it's a special holiday start that has been moved to 3:05 p.m. The holiday game features your Giants against the visiting St. Louis Cardinals. Again, first pitch is at 3:05 p.m. Get tickets at sfgiants.com/tickets.
Giants with a 5-0 lead now. They've hit 2 more homers today. And Slater had one of them, 467 feet. Ruff had another one here in the 6th inning, 439 feet. That's over 900 feet worth of home runs from those 2 guys.
Hey.
DeSclafani, and it's 0-1.
If you're going to give up a home run, John, give up a big one.
Well, I don't know if that's the motto that Caleb Smith follows, but he might start telling people that after this one. He's only allowed 7 home runs, about 1 every 9 innings for the year, but most of them against right-handed hitters. And the Giants have had 2 homers tonight from right-handed hitters against him.
Well, I gave up 196 home runs. I had one that hit the top of the fence in Shea Stadium. Dave Kingman hit it, bounced over. And you know, guess which one ticks me off now to this very day?
That's it?
That's it. So my motto, if you're going to give one up, give up a big boy.
Ahmed down on strikes. 3 pitches and out.
Beautiful cut fastball. Just a subtle movement. It's not big. It's just a little 4-inch slide. And you're thinking you see it, you're thinking you're all over it, and then you just can't figure out how you missed it. It's the beautiful thing about the pitch.
D-backs have 1 hit against him. So Dalton Varsho is the pinch hitter now for Caleb Smith. Fastball high. We're in the 6th inning. The Giants with a 5-0 lead. 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, 2 more in the 6th. And 3 of those 5 runs knocked in by Darren Ruff. 2-0 the count to Varsho. The Dodgers won in Washington earlier in a bullpen game. So the Giants need to win to stay a half game ahead of LA, who have won 9 in a row now. That's back out of play. And you know, that 9-game winning streak started the day after the Cubs pitched a no-hitter at Dodger Stadium. As you see the D-backs bullpen getting ready.
It's Riley Smith, the right-hander.
The Cubs, by the way, since that no-hitter at Dodger Stadium, the Cubs have lost 9 in a row. I don't know if we saw that one coming.
No, I didn't see it coming. They've lost 9 in a row. And did the Brewers win today?
Brewers finally lost. Their 11-game winning streak ended today.
You talk about a dramatic change in the standings in the National League Central. My word.
Just all of a sudden. Three and 2. He blew it right by him on the inside. The Cubs are 8.5 back after today behind the Brewers. The Reds, who beat the Cubs again today, they just swept the Cubs in Cincinnati. They're 7 games out. That whole division looked entirely different about 10 days ago. Oh, ouch. Oh, boy.
That may have hit him on the fingertips of the glove square on. And that's like getting your finger caught in a car door.
Dave Gressner, along with manager Gabe Kapler, out.
And they got his thumb. You see that big padding around the edge of the pocket of the catcher's glove. as that ball was tipped, it just altered the flight of the ball ever so much to where it took him on the hand. And even and Varsho's a catcher. He knows exactly what Posey's going through. So you get to shake it off. And guess what? You get to go catch another 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah. Well, Casale getting ready just in case.
He's not comfortable with it. He's definitely feeling it. I mean, the fact that he took a second throw tells me that. Yeah, when something like that happens, believe it or not, it is comforting that the guy who's in the batter's box is a catcher who can commiserate, give you a little sympathy. And it's sincere.
And it almost looked like Jeremy Rayak, the plate umpire, wanted to give Buster a little extra time because he chose that moment to say, hey, have the bat boy bring me some more baseballs here, will you? 3-2. And struck it. Oh, and that didn't look good the way Buster caught that one.
No, he just looked over it. He's done. And he'll be getting some x-rays. Wow.
So Buster Posey has scored 2 runs in this game.
And you can see the grimace. So now we hold our breath.
So Kurt Casale, who figured that he might be brought into this game, started getting the equipment on, and now here he is. So hopefully we'll get news from the clubhouse as to how Buster is, and hopefully it'll be good news.
Well, good news would be a bruise. So a meeting at the mound as Casale gets his signs, and that meeting is a Nextiva mound meeting. When you need business communications for the office, the home office, and everywhere in between, choose Nextiva.
Two down here in the last of the 6th. The leadoff man, Josh Van Meter, who is 0 for 2, called a strike.
Yeah, he's watching the game, but I know where his thoughts are right now. He's thinking about his all-star catcher.
0-2. Dave Fleming will be coming back from the radio side come the 7th inning on this 4th of July. I hope you and your family are having a wonderful holiday weekend, and maybe we'll see some of you here tomorrow. 3:05. Giants Cardinals. Over the head of Solano, base hit to right as Yaz comes in to field it. So Van Meter gets his first hit, only the 2nd hit of the game for the D-backs.
He's not going to be happy about the 0-2 mistake, especially for a guy that he's had pretty good success with tonight.
So here is David Peralta now. On 1.
It's so nice to have a guy on your team who you have as much confidence to throw to as your starting catcher. I mean, we're talking about Casale. Now that he's in relief of Posey, I mean, DeSclafani has as much confidence with DeSclafani or with Casale as he does with Posey. And that's a real luxury when you have a catching staff like that has the confidence of all the pitchers.
He's caught 6 of the Giants' 11 shutouts this year. Giants ahead 5-0 with 2 down, runner aboard here in the 6th. Giants have the overshift on. Solano is out there in shallow right. Flores, the third baseman, at second. Nobody at third. One and 2. Giants, who lost the first 3 games on this road trip, they're trying to finish the trip with 3 straight wins. They won the last 2 and are leading in this one so far. 2-2. Well, he had a very quick 5th inning, 7 pitches, and was through the inning. And he's having a longer 6th inning of it. This will be his 18th pitch of this inning as Andrew Bailey makes some notes. The Giants pitching coach, Ron Wotus, in the foreground there. Diving rough. DeSclafani covering. Well done. 5-0 Giants after 6. This Independence Day broadcast is presented by USAA, proudly serving the military community.
Toyota through 6 full innings of play. It's been all Giants tonight. 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and for the D-backs, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Anthony DeSclafani has been fantastic. Darren Ruff 2 for 3 with a home run and double, and Austin Slater for the 2nd night in a row, an absolute monumental home run as he continues to stay hot. And 6 full innings of play, 5-0 Giants. That's our game summary brought to you by Toyota. Top of the 7th now, new pitcher for the D-backs. It's Riley Smith. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change at Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Once again, my friend and my partner, Dave Fleming.
I was kind of enjoying you just handling all that.
I've been practicing, Dave. I've been practicing.
That was pretty good. All Smiths on the mound for the Diamondbacks. One Smith after another. Riley now in the game. Strike 1. And for all the good things that have happened in this game, it's a little bit of a nervous time at the moment. Just hoping that Buster Posey's okay. Big chopper. Ahmed throws out Solano.
Well, you're right. You hold your breath. You just don't trust injuries to the hand of a catcher. You're hoping it's a bruise. You're hoping it's it feels better tomorrow, and it could. But he's been around a long time, and for him to grimace the way he did when he caught strike 3 to Varsho, that is cause for concern.
Yeah, it definitely was extremely painful. Well, now with the right-hander in the game, Steven Duggar is going to come up and hit for Jalen Davis. So Duggar also allows Duggar to play defensively with the lead for the late innings. Breaking ball, strike 1. Jalen went 0 for 2.
Good changeup. Smith is a guy he's a starter. And because of that, he's got 2 types of fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. He'll throw anything at any time. Not going to really blow you away with velocity, but he's got good command to both sides of the plate.
He did a pretty good job when we saw him at Oracle earlier this year against the Giants. Went up with a fastball and struck out Duggar. 2 down, and now a word via WebEx by Cisco.
We need that part.
It's nearly done.
Can you repeat that? That's better.
It's done.
With WebEx, the McLaren Formula One team is collaborating like never before. Introducing the WebEx Suite, driving hybrid work.
All right, 2 outs. DeSclafani takes his 3rd at bat. That's always a good sign for a starting pitcher when it's the 7th inning and you're still in there hitting.
Your goal before every start is to go for 5.
That means you were in the game a long time. Lineup turned over a bunch of times.
0 for 5 is a good day for a pitcher.
DeSclafani's having a good day.
I did have an 0 for 5.
You did?
Yeah, against the Reds.
Okay. Do you remember the final score of that game?
It was big. It was lopsided.
So it didn't bug you even just a tiny bit, the 0 for part?
No.
No.
No. I mean,
because you wanted to be a good hitter.
Yeah, of course, but you know, 0 for 5, it means you're still in the game and your team scored a lot of runs, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, you got to win. That's strike 3. The Giants go down very quietly in the 7th.
Fans,
it is the 4th of July, so for tonight's rendition of God Bless America, here's the Diamondbacks organist, Bobby Freeman.
Of God Bless America.
Fireworks, and Austin Slater providing some fireworks for the Giants in Arizona. And you also can't have 4th of July without an eating contest, and Cole Kuiper was our winner of the first ever Wendy's Spicy Nugget eating contest. Cole, take your lap.
That's right. Every time Cole wins a challenge, Giants score early runs. Something cool about that.
Yeah, watch us after the show. We're better than the fireworks you see every year anyway. Watch Summer Sunday presented by Toyota after the game.
So Cole's still eating nuggets. He won the contest like 2 hours ago, more.
Hey, as hard as he works out, he could eat 10,000 calories a day and not gain a pound.
He's the most in shape person I think I know.
But he enjoys his fast food.
Slater in left, Duggar in center. DeSclafani. Bottom of the 7th against Cabrera. Is that a changeup or is that a low slider? I don't know.
I think it could have been a cut. Although, you know, he does throw more changeups to lefties than righties.
I think I've seen a few of them at least in this game that have been well thrown. That was a pretty good pitch. That one was hit out to right center field. Duggar on the move, just in the game, and it's going to bounce in front of the pool. Yastrzemski is the guy who actually picks it up. Leadoff double. That's the first Diamondbacks runner to make it to second base.
First one to get in scoring position. In fact, another changeup, not a hanger either. And just splits the defense right halfway between Yastrzemski and Duggar. Not sure how well Duggar saw that ball off the bat.
Duggar's gotten great jumps all year in center field.
He's one of the best first step outfielders the Giants have.
Christian Walker hits a foul. And of course, they measure all that stuff now. I mean, it's amazing the camera technology that's in all these ballparks where they measure first step, speed, and jumps. And Duggar rates near the top of the leaderboard if you go by those StatCast numbers.
And route.
Route, yeah.
He's a great route runner. And a great route runner runs a straight line of the ball. The straighter the line, the better the route.
Walker hit that one pretty well. Slater got a good read on it. One away. Those aren't totally routine when the ball's hit right at you as an outfielder.
Yeah, I mean, the Diamondbacks have been through this rough spell. It's been well documented. But they're in that spell right now where every time they hit a ball right on the nose, it's getting caught. And that takes it out of you when you're a team trying to come back down 5 runs.
David Smith, who had the first hit of the game against DeSclafani, hits that one to left, and that's right where Slater was playing him. Good positioning. Two down. One thing about the Diamondbacks, and it's unusual because how many years have we gone into Phoenix and watched Paul Goldschmidt and the whole gang just launch, but they're right near the bottom of home runs hit. That is one thing. And they hit a lot of line drives, and those line drives right now are being caught, but they don't hit as many over the wall as we're used to seeing.
Going to see Mr. Goldschmidt tomorrow along with Mr. Arenado.
We are. The Cardinals, next thing, they're going to sign Trevor Story, and they'll just have all the guys who killed the Giants. Max Muncy, is he next for St. Louis?
Yeah, he'll be a Cardinal before long.
Maybe it's better, Arenado and Goldschmidt together.
Yeah,
just
totally.
get it all out of the way.
Get it out of the way.
Ball 2 to Reddick. I mean, really, it will be something to see those two in the lineup together. It was years and years where those two just tortured the Giants.
Well, I remember when we first saw Goldschmidt come up. I mean, at that time, Tim Lincecum was at the height of his abilities, and he could not get Goldschmidt out. It was unbelievable. He couldn't keep him in the yard. It was like Madison Bumgarner and Kike Hernandez. Couldn't figure it out.
Reddick, base hit center field. Duggar charges. Cabrera coming home, and the throw is offline, and that's going to allow Reddick to be thrown out by Curt Casali. Nice play. Casali came and got that throw and cuts down Reddick, trying to get to second. So the D-backs are on the board. They do score the run, but the Giants get through it. Torey Lovullo waiting just to see. Do they want to challenge? They do not. So good play on defense to get the third out. D-backs get a run. It's 5-1 Giants.
Telecast is presented by the authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
Diamondbacks get a run, but just the one. It's 5-1, inning number 8, and Lamont Wade Jr. is going to hit for Austin Slater. So Wade will get an at bat against Riley Smith. The second Smith. Lamont was ready to swing, skied one way up there, and Josh Reddick made the catch.
One pitch, one out.
He's thrown 13 pitches and gotten 4 outs since coming in the game. The right-handed Smith on the Diamondback staff. Thairo Estrada will stay in.
So far, he's been a puzzle that the Diamondbacks have not been able to solve. Tonight, they're finally figuring a few things out. But it's interesting how a team embraces somebody coming up for the minor leagues and gets as hot as he's been these first 2 games.
Hit a big chopper. Cabrera made a pretty nice play and spins and throws him out. So the first quiet game of the series for Thairo Estrada. Now a brief message from Tahoe Blue Vodka. I would imagine that there are a lot of folks up at Tahoe right now who are watching us, watching some Giants baseball, getting ready for a fireworks show.
I think they've had a pretty busy weekend up in Tahoe. Weather's been unbelievable, although they had a lot of rain yesterday.
We may end up timing this thing pretty perfectly. It was about 8:15 here on the West Coast. Fireworks, what do you think, 9:15, something like that?
9 o'clock, yeah. They may start. They can't start early once they announce it. Just hoping that there's no fog. You know, that's the big risk this time of year when you have fireworks in San Francisco.
Where we sit now, we're tonight at Oracle Park, so we're looking out at the water. It's not great TV because we don't have a camera here to show you, but the boats are starting to circle around and get in position. McCovey Cove is full. That's unusual when the Giants aren't here. DeSclafani getting ready for the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-2 to Yaz. He hits one off the end of the bat to shallow center. Pavin Smith had time though, and the Giants are gone in order for the 2nd straight inning against Riley Smith. So DeSclafani back to the mound. 5-1 Giants lead.
Who could eat more Wendy's chicken nuggets than any human being. Special appearances from the old man, Dwayne Kuiper. Subscribe right now wherever you get your podcasts.
Stephen Vogt against DeSclafani. And it's ball 1 to start the bottom of the 8th. 5-1 Giants. Pitch number 86 from the Giants right-hander. I think he was disappointed when that run scored in the 7th. You're always disappointed when a run scores against you, but
well, I mean, he's a shutout master this year.
He has been. Lamont Wade stays in the game. He's in left field. I mean, he's pitched 2 shutouts already this year. I think he was thinking about a 3rd. But the main thing is just get the Giants to the finish line, whether it's DeSclafani or DeSclafani with some help. He's fallen behind Vogt 3-0. Josh Rojas has a bat. Nick Ahmed due up next, and Nick Ahmed struck out both times against DeSclafani. 3-2. I think Vogt just confirmed with the umpire that was not a strike. He's a little ticked off at himself. Three-two pitch. Vogt goes after a high fastball. Yastrzemski calls off the Giants infielder. One away.
He's going to be mad about that. He swung at ball 4.
2 times he did.
Ball 5. You think about those things too.
So now Rojas. He and Kurt Casale are not best pals. Rojas right over top that changeup. I promise this will be my last update on what we're seeing in San Francisco, not what you're seeing at home on your TV screens, but it is kind of cool. We've never been able to see this before. The barges with all the fireworks loaded in are pushing past McCovey Cove now. And tugboats are pushing them out to get in position for the big show.
And if you ever wondered how many fireworks they bring, well, how about 3 bargefuls?
Yeah, that's a lot of fireworks. And you can see the folks standing on the deck of the barge who will be in charge of sending off those fireworks. Did he go? No.
I think that'd be a fun thing to witness, standing on the barge when they're shooting off the city's fireworks.
Now, how good is that from Jeff Kuiper and Jim Lynch to get us that shot? That's what we're looking at. Got him swinging.
Curveball in the dirt. Good pitch. Strikeout number 6 for Anthony DeSclafani.
See, now I was thinking that was just terrible TV broadcasting by me to be talking about something that we have no chance of showing.
Well,
and we showed it.
Let's take a look at the curveball that sends Rojas packing. 95 pitches now.
Giants do have a couple pitchers up in the bullpen. Here's Eduardo Escobar. Today was named an all-star for the first time. 18 home runs, the most deserving Diamondback. He's in.
I think it's kind of overdue. I mean, he could have probably been on a couple of teams before this year.
He could have been. It's not like he's a flash in the pan. Hits that one to left. Lamont Wade just in the game, and he tracks it down. Nice play. Lamont Wade Jr. impressed DeSclafani with that catch. We go to the 9th on July 4th. The Giants have a 5-1 lead.
Stick around after tonight's game for a spectacular fireworks show presented by Gila River Hotels and Casinos. The show will begin approximately 15 minutes after the final hour of the game, weather permitting. The fireworks will originate from the top of the parking garage behind the scoreboard. If you are seated in the outfield bleachers or above the bullpen areas, you will not be able to see the full fireworks show. Once again, if you are seated in the outfield bleachers or above the bullpen areas, you will not be able to see the full fireworks show. So at this time, please feel free to begin moving to an unoccupied area, but please be courteous of fans holding seats in those areas. Remember, for best viewing, proceed to the upper level between sections 304 and 328. Defensive changes for the Diamondbacks. Bringing the game. Now it's shortstop, number 10, Josh Rojas. It's time for the on-track blow and delivery. And pitching, number 48, Soria.
Couple of Giants home runs, some excellent pitching from Anthony DeSclafani. It's 5-1 Giants on the 4th of July, a 4-run lead as we go to the 9th inning, and Joaquim Soria comes in when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
23rd time that he has come in. He's been closing for the Diamondbacks. I mentioned the injuries that have happened to the D-backs. 4 of their 5 starters, 2 of their big arms in the bullpen. And Soria, I mean, he's done it his whole career, but I mean, his role has changed since he came over to the D-backs. Has now assumed that role.
First at bat for Kirk Casale. And we're all just hopeful that Buster Posey's okay. He took a foul tip off the thumb of his glove hand and was obviously in some real pain. Stayed in for one more pitch, and it hurt so much to receive that pitch that he came out. Casale got a little hanger and ripped it into the gap in left center field. Kurt Casale's on the move. Leadoff double. It's a good Buster Posey impression.
Yeah. Taking advantage of a high hanger, raking it through a gap, get yourself a two-bagger. Nicely done.
Yeah, it's amazing how his offensive season has turned around. Kurt Casale was really struggling.
You know, and it's a little easier for a veteran because they've had success up here. I think a prolonged slump with a young player, it's harder on them because they don't know if they're going to come out of it. But and Casale had, to his defense, I mean, he had some hand problems. He wasn't able to really comfortably grab the bat.
That is a problem when you're trying to hit.
Yeah, but they solved it by changing his bat size and weight, and they got him a pad on his bat. Mike Yastrzemski had a lot to do with finding a piece of wood that felt comfortable for him.
Went on the injured list for what? Just the 10 days, just to kind of calm down a little bit of the discomfort. Darren Ruff, who's got a home run tonight and a double. It's been a very nice game for Darren. He's got the Stars and Stripes batting gloves. Oh-2 fouled off.
Soria going right at him. I mean, that was right down there in the strike zone. That was a good pitch to hit.
Soria's been around forever. And Torey Lovello, I think, just figuring, well, he's had experience closing. Got him swinging.
Well, and the other thing, too, when you have a guy who's been around as long as he has, you know you're going to get strikes. You know he's going to be able to handle the adrenaline of the moment. And the other thing, too, you're around this game a long time. You learn how to get by without your best stuff.
This is his 15th year as a big leaguer.
That's a long time for a reliever. I mean, if you can get 6-7 years as a reliever, I mean, that's good. I mean, it's just a position that's hard on you. To get 15, remarkable.
Most appearances in the history of the game, any pitcher born in Mexico. Joaquim Soria. Gomer Flores hit one pretty hard, but Peralta 2 down. Well, if you were wondering what we were just talking about, this is what happened to Buster in the 6th inning.
It looked like it hit him right on the thumb, the thumb knuckle closest to the palm.
So then he stayed in for that pitch, and he knew.
Well, plus on that pitch, he got another foul ball. He didn't catch that flush, but he immediately signaled to Gabe Kapler, "I'm done." Now they do have X-ray facilities here at the ballpark, so I would imagine that he's already been X-rayed. They will have some news after the game.
Strike one to Donovan Solano, and we just hope that that news is good news. Be interesting to see. John Brebbia has been up in the Giants bullpen. Whether or not Anthony DeSclafani is going to get a chance to pitch in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, once he lost the shutout, I think they're going to bring in Brebbia.
That's my guess. DeSclafani right around 100 pitches. Diamondbacks do have the top of the order due up in the bottom of the 9th. Giants trying to add to their 4-run lead. Kurt Casale had the leadoff double, but he's at second now with 2 down in the dirt. Giants back home tomorrow. This is the last road game until after the All-Star break. Giants will begin the second half of the season away from home.
Now this next stretch of games of series, there's 4. Starting tomorrow with the Cardinals, and a day out Thursday, and then you get 3 with the Nationals. And then coming out of the All-Star break, you go to St. Louis for 3, and then you go to LA for 4.
In the meantime, that man, Brandon Crawford, will be in Denver for the All-Star game just today, named an All-Star for the 3rd time. Posey, Crawford, Gausman. Got him swinging. Solano chase there. So the Giants get the leadoff double, but they don't score. 4 is going to have to be enough. And we'll see if Brebbia is coming in. 5-1 Giants.
All right, Summer Sunday featuring Therese Vignal, Cole Kuiper, Carmen Q, and Anthony Garcia. Before and after every Sunday Giants game all summer long, including after tonight's game, only on NBC Sports Bay Area.
So I'm with Therese. I put Slater in the home run derby. Send him to Coors Field. I want to see him hit 500-foot home runs at Coors.
And Carmen, we don't think of you as a Nugget loser. Sorry.
No, bronze medalist.
Exactly.
Well, look who's still on the mound. How about that? Nice show of respect and support from Gabe Kapler, Andrew Bailey for Anthony DeSclafani.
Well, they ask you, you want to finish this? And you have to be convincing. Your mouth can't be saying something, your eyes be saying something else.
On the ground, right to Darren Ruff. Couple pitches, out number 1.
But every time you get to the 9th inning and you get through the 9th inning becomes easier. And it is the goal of every pitcher. And there's no out like the 27th out.
Well, he would know. I mean, Anthony DeSclafani's gotten it twice this year.
It is the coolest thing. And it just, you don't see it very much anymore.
No. Peralta swings at the first pitch, a little looper, and it's going to drop. Didn't hit it very hard.
So there you see it. Most complete games in the major leagues, in both leagues. Herman Marquez with 3. And DeSclafani, Manaea, and Wainwright all with 2 apiece. And that's going to be it.
Yeah, Gabe was giving him the chance if he could get 3 outs in a row. And I think that's it. Okay.
I like that. So he's getting 1 more hitter. But I believe there was a bit of a pep talk in there. Because, I mean, it is the manly thing to do. Go out and throw a complete game. Do not allow your bullpen into the game. And every player on both sides of the field respect that.
Giants had to use a lot of bullpen the last couple games. Strike one.
Anthony Bailey talking over with Craig Albernis. And I'm sure the message relayed is he's got one more hitter. Anybody else gets on, he's out. Good curveball.
Really good.
I mean, he really found that curveball late in the game.
There's some games where he hardly throws it at all. But it's been a good weapon for him these last few innings. Oh, and 2 to Asdrubal Cabrera. Tyler Rogers. If they have to go to the pen, he's going to be the guy. Tyler probably didn't know what to do. He didn't pitch for a week until last night.
Yeah, he looked a little rusty.
A week off probably felt like a month off.
Really does.
Got him.
Boy, breaking ball with some fuzz on it. I mean, he wants this complete game. And he just showed it on this pitch. I mean, it's a backdoor breaking ball that's quick and in a perfect location. And he just sat down a hot hitter. Cabrera's had a nice series.
That's one of the best pitches he's thrown. He's thrown a lot of good pitches tonight. That's one of the best. So now he's 1 out away from a complete game. Christian Walker is what stands in the way. Walker's 0 for 3. He has put the ball in play all 3 times. Peralta takes second. Why not?
Why not?
Did he go? Yes, he did.
Still good stuff. See a guy break down mid-swing, and that's late movement. And that just took off and bored right into him.
Before we finish this game, by the way, we just got an update. Negative X-ray for Buster Posey. They took an X-ray.
It's an answered prayer right there.
Left thumb contusion. Really is. That one line drive base hit from Walker. Yastrzemski is going to cut it off, but Peralta will come in to score. Walker has to stay at first. Game still going, and I would imagine that's going to be it for DeSclafani.
Well, that sets up a safe situation, too.
And it's too bad. I give Gabe Kapler credit for giving his pitcher a chance.
Well, and in the end, the hit that got him out, it was not really a hanger. I mean, this pitch away and nice opposite field hitting by Walker to cash in on the RBI and get the bullpen involved in this game, which is what your goal is when you're down.
So DeSclafani 1 out from a complete game, but now Rogers comes in when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Oh, so close from a third complete game this year for Anthony DeSclafani. He gets the Giants 26 outs tonight. He's responsible for Christian Walker at first, 107 pitches. So Tyler Rogers comes in to try to get the save for the Giants.
Well, I mean, this is the ideal situation if you're a bullpenner and you're coming in for a save. You only have to get one out. You've got a 3-run cushion. Granted, there is a run at first. 9 saves on the year in 13 attempts. He's had a nice first half. And a real strong part of that Giants bullpen.
I'm sure he got some all-star consideration. I mean, you made the point on our pregame show. When you look at the list of pitchers in the National League that did not make the all-star team, Max Scherzer, Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, and on, it maybe softens the blow a little bit, but that's how good a year Tyler Rogers has had. It is his hometown, like Kevin Gausman, so it would have been cool. One and one with 2 down in the 9th inning. A pop up. Casale's going to come back, but out of his reach. Diamondbacks down to their final strike. Brandon Crawford. It's been a good day for Brandon.
Guys on the bench, they don't really know how to handle it if you're an everyday player.
I mean, he's not over there very often. He warmed up DeSclafani 1 inning as the catcher after Posey left the game. 1-2. Just low.
Inches. I think that Jeremy Rack, the plate umpire tonight, has been very good.
Very good. Josh Reddick would be next. And he would be the tying run if he gets to the plate. 3-2. Three-two. Slap foul.
Good pitch. Could fight him off. It's a good example of a guy expanding his strike zone with 2 strikes.
Diamondbacks not going quietly. A couple of hits and a run here in the 9th inning. Pavin Smith battling. 3-2. Another emergency swing.
Another expansion swing.
Rogers. That time he went with the slider.
Well, I like it. I mean, it's an off-speed pitch, and again, you're talking 6 inches off the plate. And Pavin Smith, I mean, he's not taking anything, not taking any chances.
Ninth pitch of the at bat here. Smith, the first Diamondback to face Tyler Rogers, trying to get the final out. 3-2. Fouled off his foot.
It's a battle and a half right here.
Big time.
And Anthony DeSclafani, he feels like a father watching his little league son pitch.
Just get that out, kid. Orange slices after the game.
And juice boxes.
Tenth pitch of the at bat coming from Tyler Rogers. Smith, that one was coming way inside. He hits another foul. 10
pitches, 6 fouls. And each time the game gets extended by another pitch. Anthony DeSclafani is in agony.
Looking for the final out. 3-2 is ball 4. He missed outside. What an at bat for Pavin Smith.
So the Diamondbacks get the tie and run in the box.
Josh Reddick will come up where one swing could tie the game. He drove in the first Diamondbacks run back in the 7th. 2 on, 2 out, bottom 9.
There's nobody in the Giants pen. I mean, this is Rogers' game.
Ball 1. Two and 0. Well, Tyler Rogers, this is the second game in a row after that week layoff where just not as sharp as we've seen him. He's making good pitches, but 2-0. That was a good one.
Well, he had to come in. He knows the deal, and so does Josh Reddick.
You walk Reddick, and then the tying run is on base. Stephen Vogt would be next if the Diamondbacks can keep the game going. 5-2 Giants, bottom 9. Way inside.
Easy take.
Those are the misses. We just don't see those very often from Tyler Rogers. There's Vogt. Reddick topped it. Now the Diamondbacks again are down to their final strike. Been a lot of pitches in this inning where the Diamondbacks have been down to their final strike.
Torture. And he's feeling it.
Yeah. 2 on, 2 out, 3-2. Reddick on the ground to second base. Solano throws him out, and the game is over. The Giants celebrate America's 245th birthday with a 5-2 win in Arizona. And Anthony DeSclafani, he had to sweat it out there, but ultimately Rogers gets that final out, and the Giants get a win and a series victory against the D-backs.
Well, they really capitalized on their momentum of last night's ball game. Came out and scored 2 in the first inning, and then they just kept adding. They added 1 in the third. They added 2 in the 6th. But the thing that's so significant about these wins is you're getting Austin Slater and Darren Rupp back. Both guys had nice nights offensively, and of course Anthony DeSclafani was stellar.
DeSclafani, who had an argument to be on the All-Star team, didn't get named to the team, but gets his 9th win of the year, and the Giants hold off the Dodgers again and stay in first place in the NL West. 5-2 the final score. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned. Giants Summer Sunday presented by Toyota will be coming up right after this.